Cool. So a little bit about post-migration. So post-migration, again, from Iceberg perspective, I'm not looking at the entire end-to-end. The first thing is inspect the ingestion rate, right? Look for drops, look to see if there's any conflicts. Because Iceberg is a snapshot-oriented approach, it does use these transactions. So when you make a change to the table, you basically do an optimistic change. You make the change, and then you tell the catalog, hey, I made a change, point the pointer in the catalog to my latest changes as the latest snapshot of the table. And if somebody else is also making a change at the same time, and they're trying to tell the catalog, hey, switch to mine, you're going to have a conflict. So a table that has lots of compaction happening behind the scenes and potentially lots of updates happening because of CDC stream, you're going to ultimately run into conflicts. So looking at your ingestion rate and making sure there are no drops is an important kind of guide to say, is things are okay or are things breaking and I need to go dive deeper. These screenshots are from the Upsolver control center, so you can get this directly from Upsolver. But you can get it by looking at metrics as well. Table size, file count, partition sizes. Take a look at them. Are they growing linearly? Are they growing effectively, kind of growing and shrinking? Like, what do they look like? Are they not growing at all? That's something you want to look at. Like in this particular example, this is an unoptimized table. So you can see the number of files and the table size just continuously growing. Right? Ideally, if you're compacting, it's not going to keep growing like that. It's going to grow a little bit, then shrink, then grow, then shrink. And then if you look at the table statistics, a little bit hard to see, but you can see how many partitions we have. We can see the average partition size, average file size, how many files per partition. So you can kind of keep an eye on that, right? If your number of files is continuously increasing and not decreasing, then compaction maybe isn't working properly, because compaction merges a bunch of small files into bigger files and then deletes the old files. You can also see maybe you don't have snapshot expiration enabled on the table, which means you just keep holding data forever. You want to expire some old snapshots, which would delete some of that data. I've seen that before, where tables just get massively big and we simply had to turn on expiration and then things got back to normal. And then look at compaction and snapshots themselves, right? In Upsolver, we actually expose those operations. So those operations that happen behind the scenes on an automated way, but we give you a track record. We say like, hey, we just ran compaction. We had 69 files and we outputted 2, as you can see in the first line there. So start with 69, end up with 2. That means my table is now supposed to be a lot less files. Things like that, right? Is it running? Is it stuck? And then you can tell what's going on. So as you finish your migration, you kind of validate. This is a good way to validate that things are progressing well.